Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Season 4 is now right around the corner, and as always with a new seasonal update, we are going to see a massive weapons update drop right alongside this. This includes the addition of new weapons, obviously via the battle pass initially, then also later on in season, but also with a ton of new weapon tuning, some meta shifts, and huge meta updates as well. And today we're going over what to expect for the weapons update in Season 4. As we go through it all, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every single day I got you covered with all things going on in COD, so feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. So first up, let's talk about the new weapons coming with Season 4. We actually have 4 new weapons coming with the season. 3 are going to be ranged, 1's going to be a melee per usual. Who knows if we're going to see any like surprise weapon drops maybe in Cold War later on during the season. Obviously we've seen things like the Scythe and the Vargo drop there before, sort of out of the blue, so that's always a possibility, but officially we know of 4 different weapons. The first one is called the Marco 5 SMG, and this one is probably one of the more interesting weapons that we've seen in Warzone to date because it's extremely unique with one of its specific properties. So the Call of Duty blog actually describes this as a high mobility SMG, accurate from the hip with excellent close range stopping power. They go on to say for a highly mobile aggressive player, there are a few better options than rushing into battle with the Marco 5 SMG. It's great for pushing into objectives, and its high mobility allows you to run circles around the enemy while they struggle to get a bead on your position. Considering its relatively noticeable recoil and damage fall off at longer distances, the Marco 5 is best when fired from the hip at closer ranges. So this thing is definitely going to be a close range based SMG, not necessarily like the Blixen or the Wellgun that is also very good for sniper support. It apparently is going to have some steep damage drop-offs. I would imagine probably around 12 to 15 meters and beyond. But then they finish the description of the Marco 5 by saying, as the first SMG in Vanguard to feature the Akimbo proficiency, you'll soon wonder why you ever needed to aim down sights in the first place. So we are officially getting an Akimbo SMG in Warzone and also in Vanguard obviously as well. Now, if you've been playing COD for a while, you might remember the Akimbo Fmg9s in MW3. Those were super fun to use back in the day, but obviously it is a hip fire machine. Now we have things like the PPSH when built for hip fire that are just utterly insane up close. This seems to be, the Marco 5 seems to be like it's going to be taking over that throne as like that close range dominant weapon for hip fire specifically, especially with that Akimbo proficiency. And obviously if it's not going to be good for range as is, if it has steep damage drop-offs, maximizing its potential up close might be the best way to go about things with that Akimbo perk. So that one in particular, like I said, is going to be very interesting to play with, just because we've never really seen anything like that in Warzone up until this point. And also, for what it's worth, that is going to be a launch weapon, so that's going to be a part of the battle pass. You'll be able to get that for free whether or not you actually end up buying the pass, either at tier 15 or tier 31. Next up, we have the second of the 2 battle pass weapons. This one's going to be the Ugm8 Lmg. So yes, another LMG is entering the fold here with Season 4. And spoiler alert, later on we have a rifle coming as well. So it's a very basic weapon lineup here: rifle, LMG, SMG. We really haven't had much diversity in the seasonal weapons this year, which I won't lie is kind of a disappointment. But anyways, the Ugm8 Lmg. The COD site describes this as a high fire rate mobile LMG that excels at creating suppressing fire and pushing enemy positions. Who says an LMG has to slow you down? Combining high mobility with a high fire rate, the Ugm8 is ideal for players looking to keep pace with their teammates while offering suppressive fire. This thing chews through ammo, so be prepared to feed it. Boost your ammo capacity with one of these several different magazine options, or grab fully loaded or scavenger to prevent going empty in the middle of a fight. So high fire rate, but also mobile for an LMG. I expect this to be more of an AR LMG hybrid based off of that description. Maybe not necessarily on the, same level as the Bruin is with the 60 round mag conversion, but still something that's going to be able to run faster than things like the Whitley or the Bren, so on and so forth, while having a fire rate maybe closer to like one of the MG34 options that we have in the game. And I'm also curious to see those magazine variants, if we have one that is damage increasing but maybe slows down the fire rate and gives it more of a true LMG identity there. Then the third new weapon we're getting this season is going to be a new melee weapon. It's coming in the launch window, the Call of Duty site describes, so this probably won't be in the store right away, but maybe a week or two after the launch of Season 4. And this is going to be the Push Dagger Knife. This is essentially like shadow daggers from CSGO, if you ever played that. Pretty basic knife. It's obviously very small. You just hold it in your hands. I'd be curious to see like how unique they're gonna get with the animations and whatnot here, because as far as like knife variants go, this is definitely one that's not necessarily as, you know, out there as say a full-on scythe, which obviously is a much larger melee weapon. You can do a lot more with the animations and everything there. But yeah, for those of you looking to use melee weapons consistently, the Push Dagger is coming in the launch window. And then lastly, for our new weapons that we have confirmed in season, we're getting the Vargo S, not to be confused with the Vargo not S that we already have in the game. The Vargo 52, which obviously was a Cold War DLC weapon. We now have the Vargo S as a Vanguard DLC weapon. Yes, my head also hurts when I try and think about this. The Call of Duty site describes this one as an essential armament for versatile play. This workhorse assault rifle offers a high fire rate, steady aim through sustained fire, and a quick reload, and that's before adding any of its gunsmith attachments. Unlock the Push Dagger and the Vargo S in one of two ways: through an in-game weapon-based challenge or via a store bundle to be released later on this season, featuring a weapon blueprint from this weapons family. So this will be the typical in-season weapon update that we get likely with the mid-season update. I imagine that's going to be happening at some point in August based off the time frame, maybe very, very late July. But regardless, you'll be able to do an in-game challenge, maybe something along the lines of get 5 long shots with a rifle in 15 different matches or whatever, or you can buy that store bundle, but unfortunately the bundle, you can't ever change the attachments on it, so you pretty much have to unlock the base weapon. But that'll be our in-season weapon, and I'm really curious to see if a 10 attachment Vargo variant versus a 5 attachment Vargo 52 is going to be a competitive battle at all, or if this one's going to be, you know, significantly better than the Cold War version that we got earlier on this year. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, we're going to see some major weapon tuning happen with Season 4 as well. We'll get the exact specifics on this with the patch notes when that goes live with the update later on this week, but we can also sort of preview some of the things that are likely going to be changing just based off of how things usually go about when certain weapons start to get very high pick rates, very high KDs, and seem to be a little bit too dominant. First and foremost, the NZ41. We've been talking about this one for quite some time now. It's been very good over the past few weeks, especially with the burst barrel. But I'm particularly interested in this one because it's a fully auto weapon at its core, right? The NZ by default is fully auto. So when you put on a burst barrel and then you have the option to change it back to fully auto, what's the point in using the burst barrel? You see where I'm going? The majority of the other burst barrels that are in the game allow you to do burst or single fire as the alternative there, while all full auto weapons let you do fully auto or single fire, despite the fact that the description says it can go fully auto. So I don't know if that's just an oversight or what, but I'd imagine that the NZ41 is probably going to see some adjustments there to bring it back in line with some of the other rifles. Also, the STG. We all know this thing was buffed to a pretty extraordinary level of dominance because it was the main featured bundle for the Godzilla and Kong events. And now that that's all done and wrapped up and those bundles are no longer in the store, and the fact that the STG has the #1 pick rate in the game right now, I would imagine that's probably going to see some nerfs as well to bring it back in line with the other meta rifles too. Outside of that, we do have a relatively competitive rifle and SMG meta, a relatively competitive close range and long range meta. I doubt we'd see many Cold War or Modern Warfare SMGs buffed to compete with all the Vanguard ones that are very competitive right now. It would be a nice surprise, but like I said, I'm not expecting that. The only other thing that I could potentially foresee happening here, maybe later on into the season, is once we get closer to the release of the Vargo S, is the Vargo 52 seeing some significant nerfs, because right now that's probably the best non-Vanguard rifle in the game because the buffs that it got recently. So I would not expect both of those Vargo variants to be very good once they're all officially available and released, you know. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, I definitely would expect some changes to the STG and the NZ41 at the minimum. But yeah, with all that being said, that's effectively going to wrap things up for this one. That's what to expect with the weapons update in Season 4. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know by dropping a a like on it would be seriously appreciated. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with everything going on in COD, news, updates, loadouts, tips. You'll find it all right here. So feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. And as always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL on all Scuff, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products. And the links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.